Hold on, because I know how YouTube gets. Play some music, even slightly. They monetize and cut it off. So YouTube, this is me not using no music. It's just me, Q52, speaking on it today. Okie dokie. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Q52 coming at you with another flashback game track, man. I'm doing Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2, and I've been kind of doing this thing on and off for a while, just having fun with it, you know. I've kind of gotten into the habit of doing this thing here, where I'm literally challenging myself to complete all challenges, but not just like the Pro Skater challenges, but to do like all these little intricate challenges as well. Um, and I know a lot of people play this game. A lot of people kind of picked it up, and I had some kids in my school that downloaded this game on their Nintendo Switch and stuff like that. And they were like, "Man, I don't know how to complete this move." And I'm like, "Oh, I got, excuse me." And I'll be like, "Oh, all you got to do is just hit the rail, jump into a manual, go up, have just enough speed. Once it go up the ramp, not the ramp, but once you go up the half pipe, or when you go up the ramp that launches you into the air, if you got enough speed coming off of the rail from the manual, you can go up there, grind on that rail, and try to ride it out as long as you can. It's a challenge. My kid's like, "There's no way you can do that." And then I get on my PlayStation, and I show them how to do it. It's because I have been playing this game forever. For those of you who don't remember PlayStation, and I'm not talking about PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5. No, I'm talking about PlayStation, the original PlayStation, the Crash Bandicoot PlayStation, the Naughty Dog PlayStation, the triangular breast Tomb Raider PlayStation. That one. Yes, the original PlayStation. I have been playing Tony Hawk from the very beginning on that. But also, I had a Sega Dreamcast. God, I missed that. It was way ahead of its time. Fur Fighters. And there was like this little alien game. There was so many cool games that you had on that one. Also, Jet Set Radio. Shout out to Jet Set Radio and the people at Sega. But I have been playing Tony Hawk for years. In actuality, I have a spot in my house right now where there is a list of Tony Hawk games that I have collected from PlayStation 1, Sega Dreamcast, all the way up to PlayStation 4. Now, I say PlayStation 4. Okay, it's because I said the title of let's get the setup. But I have all of these game. I have all of these Tony Hawk games from Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1, Pro Skater 2, Pro Skater 3, Pro Skater 4, Underground, Underground 2, uh, American Wasteland, Project, um, Proving Grounds. I even had the Skate. I had not Skate. Skate was not Tony Hawk. I had Tony Hawk's Downhill Jam. Uh, the one where you had the actual skateboard. I've had what was it? Had Proving Ground. I said Proving Grounds already. America, Tony Hawk, American Wasteland. I think that was the funniest one, the coolest one in my book. But I have played all of these games. Now, the reason why I said in my description, for those of you who haven't looked, look in my description. I said I was going to talk about culture versus color because in this year, this summer alone, something has taken place that a lot of people did not see coming. A lot of people are up in arms about it, and me being an educator, I'm gonna try to address it as best as I can to kind of give people and to alleviate people of their mindset and not to be thinking a certain way. So for those of you who have followed what has been going on this summer, follow what's been going on around the world. Uh, I'm just gonna start with what's here in the U.S. I'm gonna start with the Kendrick and Drake, or Drake versus Kendrick rap beef. This was an interesting battle. A lot of people who are Drake fans, and believe me, I'm an educator. I hear it all the time. I have kids who, teenagers, especially a young lady in particular at my school. She was such a Drake fan, and she could not stand the way um, verbiage and the wording and the lyrics of Kendrick Lamar when he was saying certain things. And she was so caught up thinking that this was started by Kendrick Lamar and the Like That with the Like That song from Metro Boomin and Future. But I had to show her because not only do I do video gaming and esports and so in social groups like that and mentoring groups, but I also host a hip hop club at my school, and we follow very, very, very closely everything that happens in hip hop. And we had a timeline that went so far back that it marked literally 2013 and 2009, and when Kendrick and Drake were in the industry and a lot of stuff happened. I even went so far back as to find the BET Cypher where Kendrick Lamar was featured in 2013 with his whole TDE group with Schoolboy Q. Shout out to TDE group. I'm from North Carolina, by the way. I'm not from the West Coast, but I shout out people who do it for culture, and this is what I'm going to get to. It's for culture, not for color, and a lot of people think of this in a certain hurtful manner, but it's nothing hurtful about it. It's just if you don't understand the culture, you can't therefore talk about it because you are not well educated. So I'm going to try to educate some people in this thing. So a lot of people thought that the whole Kendrick Lamar angle was the PD file, was the not being black and all that. Everybody thought that was Kendrick's angle. No, that was not Kendrick's angle. Kendrick's angle was basically telling, okay, there's a difference between culture versus color. The fact that your mama's white, that's one thing, and your daddy's black, that's another thing. But bringing up broken homes and broken families, I talk about that when a lot of the things you have in your life were given to you, and there were things that you benefited from. So a lot of people are like, huh? What does he mean by that? And if you don't listen carefully to a lot of what Kendrick Lamar is saying in his music, and yes, I know a lot of Drake fans do not want to hear Kendrick Lamar because you're going to be hearing him for the rest of the song. No offense, you're going to hear him. You're going to hear the song. And if he comes out with the new album, um, don't be surprised if he has more angles to hit you with or have more deeper in depth um, lyrics that make you think and make you feel a certain way. So so let me go to one song in particular. Well, two songs. One is from Drake and one is from Kendrick Lamar. So we're gonna go to Family Matters. Family Matters. I hate to say this, but there has been a rule amongst mankind. And there's a rule amongst black men in general and in the culture of being black. That rule is, and I quote, do not talk about our families if you don't know them. In Family Matters, there were things that were said, there were insinuations, there were things that were picked out and nitpicked on by Drake that in actuality, these things did not take place. And if you don't believe me, I want y'all to go to Curtis King TV. Great, great, well spoken, uh, really informed artist, really informed. brother who can give you like all the snippets and all the tidbits and the best information possible. Go listen to him, go watch him, go to his channel, check out his video on the Kendrick Lamar and Drake thing. It'll break down a whole lot of what culture is versus what everybody else is thinking it is. Like he breaks down how it's not about peace, it's about culture. Like if you know the culture, you know what we're talking about. If you don't know the culture, then you shouldn't be opening your mouth. Um, somebody, I saw a dude on YouTube today, and I'm going to get back to the Kendrick Lamar and Drake song in just a second on Family Matters and um, the Meet the Grams. I got to hit on it. I know it's old, but I'm going to hit on it. But here's the deal: there was a podcast with this gentleman, and for the longest time, he jumped ship. He always jumped ship, and no offense to him, no offense to his crew, no offense to his team. If he really understood hip hop for what it is, hip hop in history. Now let's just listen because I'm an educator. Let me give y'all a lesson. Hip hop is about the art of storytelling. It's about an art of delivering a message. It's an art of deliberately informing a culture or informing people on what's going on. I can go as far back as fucking Sugar Hill Gang if I wanted to. Go back as Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. Note, I am not that old. I was born in '88. Hip hop was born in 1970 something. And but the form of rap, the form of talking, the form of relaying a message, the form of rhythmic speech pattern has been done on radios way before it became a musical sensation. That is the history. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go on YouTube, go on Google, and I want you to type in um, best '80s radio DJs, best '70s radio DJs, and I want you to play their voices. Petey Green was a radio DJ, and what he would say sometimes would refer to hip hop. When he signed off, he said, "When I leave here, I don't want no crime. I only want to see unified," or something of that nature. Like there were many guys on the radio who spoke, and they spoke in a rhythmic pattern, but the rhythmic pattern was also a deliberate message that informed people and told people what to watch out for. And it was deliberate. It was hip hop. But hip hop didn't become hip hop until you put it to music, because that's when they took the form rap, put it to music, that made it hip hop. Big Bang Hank, Wonder Mike, Master G, Sugar Hill Gang. They created this thing. They're the first ones to do it. Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. Grandmaster Flash, Kool Herc, and Africa Bambaataa. The three GOAT legends of New York, the three kingdoms, as we know it as, were the three DJs, the three legendary DJs. Kool Herc did things for back to school for kids in the community. Africa Bambaataa, very militant in his approach to enlighten people that there was a message that needed to be delivered. And then you had Grandmaster Flash, the man who turned the turntable into a musical instrument. Now that you got the history lesson of where hip hop itself comes from, let's get to today. So if you know that hip hop is about delivering a message, if hip hop is to be informative, hip hop is to enlighten you or to bring you up to speed on what's happening, let's go to Family Matters with Drake. In Drake's Family Matters, he broke down a lot of points and he said a lot of things. But the problem with some of that stuff, there was some inconsistent. No offense to any Drake fans. Nope. Drake, in my book, he's an artist. I have to give him his flowers. He's an artist, so I'm not denying him that. But what I am going to say may not bode well with a lot of Drake fans when I say this. So just bear with me. A lot of things that Drake said had inconsistencies. A lot of things that Drake portrayed had inconsistencies. And that's something that doesn't sit well with a lot of the people who are culturally aware in hip hop. Because we know this guy to be a pop sensation. We know this guy to make people dance. He makes club music. He's entertaining. He's entertaining. He has a deal with Universal Music Group, and he's supposed to keep this momentum going if he is to see this payout. Like that's the deal with anything. Like if you're an athlete, the deal is when you sign that contract, you have to play a certain amount of games. If you're a wrestler, you have to put on a certain amount of shows, sell a certain amount of merchandise, and make your money. In hip hop and in music culture, when you sign to a record label or you sign to a record conglomerate, you are signing, I am going to put out this many records for this long for this amount of money. This is your cut. This will be my cut. This is how it's going to flow. My name here, date here, done deal. That means it's set in stone. You have to abide by that because once you put it in ink, it is a contract. It's a contractual agreement. You break that contract, penalties. So here's the thing. When Family Matters came out, I did hear it. There were some things in there, but it did not sound like Drake. No offense, it did not sound like Drake. And I don't want the Drake community bashing my balls when I say this, but the problem with that was we know what Drake sounds like. We know how Drake samples. We know how Drake pulls from certain people, whether it's their music likeness, their sound quality, or their patterns. He pulls from people certain things. And in Family Matters, we heard that he was trying to get like real, he was trying to become deviant. But Drake is not really a deviant type character. You see what I'm saying? That's like I put a small person in a boxing match with Mike Tyson, and that small person is supposed to intimidate Mike. That small person is supposed to talk all the shit in the world to Mike to make Mike say, I don't want to fight this dude. I want y'all to catch that. This little guy gets into the ring with Mike Tyson. He is to talk so much shit that he makes the guy back down. Yeah, I'm not going to happen. And for those of the people who grew up through the 80s and 90s of boxing, know Mike Tyson was a dude where when he got in that ring, he was blank. He had only one goal in mind, and that was to kill. That boxer on the other side of the ring could be talking all the shit in the world. Mike Tyson wasn't saying nothing until the fight was over. But he let his actions speak. That was the authenticity of Mike. So Drake didn't really have much of his authenticity about him in Family Matters. And that's what kind of threw me off about it. He had a lot of good things in there, like a lot of puzzling bars, but the things that kind of stood out the most was when he brought up Whitney. When he brought up Kendrick's mom and her issue and tried to put it on Kendrick and his sister and all this stuff. Here's the thing. If you don't know the family, don't say nothing. For instance, people who grew up in the 80s and 90s, in the chat, you can type this in now. If somebody spoke about your family, when you were younger, let's put it that way. I'm not going to say now that we're older, now that we're in our 30s and our late 20s and stuff like that. No. When you were younger, in your teens, if somebody talked about your mama, you went for they behind. You wanted to break their face in. You wanted to curb stomp them. You wanted to throw them up against the wall. You wanted to pound them into the earth. You wanted to decimate and destroy them and decapitate that person. Because you don't talk about family. It was a rule. In hip hop, in battle rap, do not, and here's the problem, do not talk about family. What happened in the response? The response didn't take long. The response came immediately in most people's cases. It came immediately. Meet the Grams. And this was a weird approach, but we could see the authenticity of Kendrick Lamar because he started off by just informing and talking to people. No, that's something that Kendrick has always done. He has always said lines and bars and stuff that would inform and enlighten people. I'm gonna go ahead and put this thing because I gotta beat this place. But he would inform and enlighten people at any song. King Kunta, um, all right. There's so many songs. Like there's a long list of songs that Kendrick Lamar has done. And a lot of people don't understand that that's been his whole that's been his whole spiel. His whole spiel is I want to educate the community. I gotta get better at that trick. He talked to the son, which in my book, oh crap, that's scary. The guy is talking to your kid. What is he gonna say? What's gonna happen? How's this gonna pan out? And he talked to his mom. He talked to his dad. He talked to the whole family, and then got on Drake last. He said, "I know you wanted a friendly exhibition, but then the friendly exhibition became something else when you decided to bring my family into this."
Yeah.
And like I said, it's always been a rule that you don't talk about somebody's family. Because once you talk about somebody's family, all gloves are off. So in this song, Meet the Grams, this was him saying, "Oh, you wanted to talk about my wife, you talked about my mom, you talked about me. Well, let me talk about your family. Matter of fact, don't let me talk about your family. Let me talk to your family. Let me explain to them how you make me feel, how you make me react. And hopefully, through me speaking to you, we can really end this thing." If y'all don't remember the song King Kunta, he said, "Where were you when I was walking? Now I run the game, got the whole world talking, King Kunta. Everybody wants to cut the legs off of Kunta. Black man is taking no losses." And if y'all don't remember the movie Roots, Kunta had both of his feet removed. He had both feet chopped off. And it was because he was not going to be enslaved. He didn't want to be enslaved. He wanted to be free, even if that costed him. And it did. It costed him his legs. You see what I'm saying? And and that reference of King Kunta, black man take no losses. He's saying, I'm not taking this loss to Kendrick or anybody. This industry, this industry is about culture. This industry is about relaying a message. This industry is about telling a story. So he talked to Adonis. He talked to mom. He talked about dad. He talked to mom. He talked to dad. He talked to Adonis. And he referenced baby girl. If anybody find out who baby girl is, if anybody finds out, who baby girl is. If anybody locates baby girl, if anybody knows her identity or leaks that identity of that girl or that mom, or because he even referenced 11th year old birthday party. He should have been watching Frozen with you. Like there was so many things that was said. There was so many things that was said that when you digest it all, and you break it down and you cut it up and you dissect it, right? There was a lot of lines that he put in there that you like, dang, that's old school. That's hip hop. That's some real stuff. That's crazy. And then he gets to the point where he's not talking to the artist known as Drake. He's talking to the person, Aubrey. That's when it gets scary. When he breaks the fourth wall and no longer uses your entertainer's name, he uses your actual name. He basically names all of the things that you lied about. And he say all the things that you lied about. And I know a lot of Drake fans are like, hey, Drake didn't do no line. Drake that. Look, I'm just saying from a hip hop educator's perspective, and I'm saying it from a cultural point of view. When somebody calls you out of a lie and then they tack what you lied about in the evidence folder, you can't deny evidence. You see what I'm saying? You lied about your religious views. That's deep. Like how do you lie about your religious views? Like and that's what people are not understanding. Like there were things that were said and people weren't getting it at first. And then on top of that, okay. I'm sorry, I'm getting sidetracked playing this game. I haven't had my ADHD, but I'll get to the point. So. But when he got to the point where at the end of his song, he said, F a rap battle. This is a lifelong battle with yourself. The response from all the people who quote unquote, and I ain't gonna say quote unquote, all the people who basically listened to Drake at that point. When he brought that out, and I was like, oh my God. He said, F a rap battle. This is a lifelong battle with yourself. How many more black features until you feel like you are black enough? And I was like, wow. And no, it wasn't. And here's what a lot of people thought. A lot of people were thinking that he was talking about the growing out of the beard, the getting the braids, the getting the tattoos, the getting the diamonds and stuff on it, and getting the necklaces, getting the watches and all of this stuff, the Bugatti and the Ferrari and all these cars. Those are what we consider black features. Like those are things that black, quote unquote, and note I'm a black male, so I'll say this. Those are things, quote unquote, that are enticing to the black viewer watching, and not us older black viewers, but younger hip hop viewers, younger black viewers of hip hop. They see these cars and like, man, I wish I had a Bugatti. Man, I wish I had Ferrari. Man, I wish I had that watch. Man, I wish I had a necklace that looked like that. Man, I wish I had a beard that looked like that. Like features, black features. And a lot of people thought that that was what he was talking about. No, that's not what he was talking about. How many more black features until you feel like you're black enough? Look at all the people Drake had been featured with. Lil Wayne, first and foremost. Nicki Minaj, Future, Ricky Rose. There's a there's a crazy amount of people that is in that list of people who he was featured with that was black and that was in the hip hop community culturally that he gravitated to or used from. And when you hear those lines, it's kind of like it's daunting because like you think about it, you're like, wow, he was right. He spoke on something that's kind of raw, something that's kind of rugged, something that's real. It's making you listen. There are videos of Drake fans who heard Meet the Grams, and there's videos of them crying at the end of it because the truth being told. And some people can't do that. Some people can't take that truth. Ah, crap! I failed. That's gonna hurt. Do some crazy stuff. Ooh, I knew I was gonna kill that last one. Okay, so now let's get into discussion about the color versus culture thing. So when it comes to color versus culture, I've seen a lot of people posting on Twitter. I've seen a lot of people posting on TikTok, and quite honestly, it's gonna break a lot of people who may agree with me, who may not agree with me. But here's what I'm gonna say: when it comes to culturally, the cultural aspect of hip hop, Kendrick is more grounded in the cultural aspect of hip hop. Y'all can come out of the bag on me if you want to. You can get mad at me if you want to. You can say whatever you like. I could care less. But culturally, Kendrick has lived a lot of the things that he's talking about. He has control of his artistry. He has control of his lyrics because he writes his stuff. He produces his stuff. He comes up with this stuff. And here's the other thing. Y'all got to understand who Kendrick Lamar's mentors are. First and foremost, the legend of all legends, Dr. Dre, infamous DJ of NWA, artist himself, the guy who brought forth Tupac along with Digital Underground. I'm not going to give him all the credit for Tupac because Digital Underground had him first. Then Dr. Dre worked with him. Snoop Dogg. And from those people alone, built a he built a empire off of make it real. Don't talk about no BS. Talk about your life. I want to feel what you're talking about. I want to know what you're talking about. I want to know your life. I want to hear you in the song. And then, but no, I said legends. So Snoop Dogg. A lot of you kids today don't know Snoop Dogg. Y'all know Grandpa Snoop Dogg. Y'all know the Snoop Dogg from the movie on Amazon Prime. Y'all don't know Gin and Juice Snoop Dogg. Y'all don't know uh next episode Snoop Dogg. Y'all don't know uh the original Snoop Dogg. Y'all don't know What's My Name. Y'all don't know that Snoop Dogg. Y'all don't know Murder Was the Case. Because that was an existence that he lived. Y'all don't know Tupac, and I'm so sorry y'all didn't get to know Tupac for who he is and who he was. Tupac was a poet. Tupac wrote everything he said, from "Keep Your Head Up" to "Hail Mary" to "California Love." There were so many lines that he talked about. Hell, I'll go back and do Digital Underground. Rest in peace, Shock G. Rest in peace, Tupac Shakur. And I could go so far back as when he was introduced. His first lines was, "I clown around when I hang around with the underground. Girls used to frown, say I'm down when I come around. Gas me, and when they dash me, they used to diss me, harass me, but now they ask me if they can kiss me. Get some fame, people change, want to live their life high. Same song, can't go wrong if I play the nice guy. Claim the flame duly changed now that we became strong, but I remain still the same. Why two? Because it's the same song. If y'all don't understand what the in between lines are in that song, and what Tupac said, and what Humpty Dumpty was shouting at him at the end, y'all don't understand the culture of what they were talking about in their music, because it was a message. I clown around when I hang around with the underground. Girls used to frown, say I'm down when I come around. Dash me, and when they gas me, they used to diss me, harass, but now they ask me if they can kiss me. People fame, get some fame. People change, want to live their life high. Same song, can't go wrong if I play the nice guy. Things have changed, claim to fame now that we became strong, but I remain still the same. Why two? Because it's the same song. He says, it doesn't matter about the money, it doesn't matter about the cars. I'm doing this for my people. I'm doing this for me because this is something that I love to do. I'm not going to change my whole dynamic of who I am because of this industry. Shock G, when he came up with the idea of Humpty Hump. All right, stop what you're doing because I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to. I look funny, but yo, I'm making money, see? See, yo, world, I hope you're ready for me, so gather round. I'm the new fool in town, and my sound's laid down by the underground. I'll drink the bottle of Hennessy you got on your top shelf, so just allow me to introduce myself. He was hilarious the way he was putting phrases and putting bars together and putting lyrics together, but it was his creativity. Humpty Hump was a freelance comedian rapper. He wrote stuff to make you laugh. And when he would come out of Humpty Hump and he would be himself, Shock G, you could hear the change in his voice. It was his authenticity. I came for the party to get naughty and get my rocks on, eating popcorn, watching movie body to the rock song, and I'm singing, ding a linging, funky beats ringing, everybody swinging in the place as I kick the G8. When I kick the J8, ZZY style, R&B, mixing it with the hip hop swing beat. Champagne in my hand, won't be long till I'm gone. It's just the same old song. It's just a freestyle. Meanwhile, the kickers be kicking. Sweat dripping. Girl is in the limo eating chicken. Oops, don't get the grease on your pantyhose. I love you, Rover. Move over. I gotta blow my nose. Sneezing, but still I'm pleasing. All of a slimmy. No, you could hear his vocal change, and you knew he was going from, this is Shock G. This is the comical part. There's two sides to every coin. There's two sides to every person. Shock G showed you that when he created that. Kendrick Lamar showed you that when he spoke to you, He was not changing who he was. He's always been K Dot. He's always been K Lamar. He's always been that guy to give you his authenticity in the hip hop game. And that's hands down. Nobody could argue that. Nobody could deny him that. See what I'm saying? So, and also let's think about this. Like I brought up those legends who are from that West Coast side of town, right? But who was the person that brought out Kendrick? Yes, Dr. Dre worked with Kendrick Lamar. Yes, Dr. Dre is super proud of Kendrick Lamar. But the person who brought him out was a battle rap from Detroit, Eminem. Eminem, the majority of his life in the beginning was battle rap, and it was about be instinctive, be offensive, but be defensive. He wrote a rule for battle rap that a lot of people don't use to this day, but the guys who do use it or the women who use it in battle rap today, they 9 out of 10, they some tough people to beat. Talk about yourself to make sure that whatever ammunition that your opponent wants to throw at you, can't throw it at you. Dr. Dre heard about Eminem through these battle raps and through tapes and stuff. He heard Eminem and said, I want this guy to come in and work with me. He brought him to not just any kind of studio, he brought him to his house and took him to the studio at his house. He says, I just been playing around with this stuff. And he heard Eminem's authenticity. He heard Eminem just be himself on the track with music backing him, talking about things that you don't really hear in the black community, but you hear it in the places where he's from. It was authentic. It was hip hop. A lot of rappers who can't stand Eminem, and a lot of pro-black people who can't stand who can't stand Eminem. I'm sorry, y'all can hate him all you want. Y'all can dislike him all you want, but you can't deny his authenticity. Eminem has talked about his drug abuse. He talked about his alcoholism. He talked about all the stuff that went on in his life. Every song, every track, every CD, every album that he had, he talked about his life, and it was authentic. It was Eminem. Yeah, some were hits, some were missed, but he accepted those. He accepted all of those because that's who Eminem is. Eminem accepted that stuff. But now we get to the real part. Eminem, 50, 50 Cent, and Eminem got Kendrick Lamar. And Kendrick Lamar, and y'all can look it up. Eminem, there's a video of Eminem talking about how he was introduced to Kendrick Lamar, and he said Kendrick Lamar came in, he had all these people around him, and he says he demanded that those people be removed, and Kendrick stayed by himself, and he worked on some stuff, worked on some samples and stuff to put it together. And he said, I wanted to make sure that there were no ghostwriters. Because I've heard this dude on tape or on CD. I've heard this guy. I wanted to hear, I wanted to see for myself if it was authentic. He says, because Dre did the same thing to him. And when those people left, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours later, Eminem said, I was more than satisfied with this dude because this dude could produce. This dude could write his own stuff. There were no missing there were no missing components to him. The things I heard about him, the things that I saw, he said it was authentic. It was real. Now, let's get to the battle rap. When K. Dot, Kendrick Lamar, dropped Not Like Us, when he dropped Meet the Grams, when he dropped all the other tracks that he did against Drake, when Drake dropped all of those multiple tracks he dropped, there were some things that he did that didn't bode well with the hip hop community. No offense. Younger community, they were like, oh, he did this. Older community was like, yeah, that ain't shit. That didn't do it for me. I don't know why y'all celebrating. He didn't do it. He didn't do that for himself. And he said it eloquently. He said, this is a 20v1. No, it's a 1v20.
Woohoo!
Y'all kind of.
Oh,
And there was some things that were done, some things that were said.
ah,
And that was the biggest issue with Drake. There were things that were said that shouldn't have been said. There were things that were done that shouldn't have been done. And it messed with the image of Drake. For instance, for people who are intrigued at this point, if you stuck around, you understand that I use points to kind of like delve into like what is authentic, what's real, what's not real, what's pure, what's not pure. So let me dabble. And Not Like Us, it was at the end. A lot of people don't understand, but at the end was a real true moment of hip hop, but it was a real true essence of battle rapping that a lot of people didn't comprehend and understand. Because Kendrick has always been authentic. He always wants to educate. He always wants to inform. Nope, that's his essence. That's who he is. Drake is an entertainer. He wants to entertain people. When I say there were things that Drake did in his music that kind of didn't bode well with the hip hop community. Yeah, I'm talking about the song that I will not say on here, but I will describe it. It sampled Tupac's voice in AI. And also it AI sampled Snoop Dogg. But here's my whole thing. Snoop Dogg is still alive. If you want a Snoop Dogg on a track with you, all you had to do was go call up Death Row and have a sit down with the man. I'm pretty sure he would have sat with you. You know what I'm saying? That would not have been a problem. But you decided to AI Snoop Dogg's voice, and he's still alive, and he can still flow with the best of them. I know a lot. My wife, she calls him like the kids today would call him Grandpa Snoop, and he may be a grandpa, but Grandpa Snoop still got some tendencies. He can still flow with the best of us. And a lot of the young generation today saw this not as really battle rap, but they saw it as a versus, and they think versus is a battle rap. I'm sorry, it's not a battle rap. Versus is nothing but one song against another. Which song is better? That's a versus. Battle rap is anything that's real that gets the people's attention If it's bars that hurt your opponent's image and makes people move from that person to you, you got something. It's about lyricists. It's about speaking what's hot. It's about speaking what's real. It's about speaking up. It's about informing. There's a whole lot of stuff that battle rap does that a lot of kids today don't really understand battle rap. URL. You see what I'm saying? Total slaughter and all that stuff. The rap battle leagues and all of that stuff. A lot of people, a lot of young people today don't understand the essence of why that is still existing. That is something that has been around for a long time. That's been around since the 80s. That's been around since the like 1979. And that's often and that's something authentic. But Drake did something that was not authentic. Drake tried to AI a West Coast sound to push his image into the West Coast, to push himself into this battle. And two groups didn't like that. The the Tupac's Foundation didn't like that. Snoop Dogg didn't like that. And when it comes from those two different legendary conglomerates or those two legendary empires of hip hop, then you've lost Los Angeles. Now, crazily enough, Los Angeles is the biggest producer in produce, the biggest producer in things being circulated throughout the U.S. Like they hold the key to our vast existence, wine and fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. And they are the producers that send out mass amounts. Nebraska sends out corn, mass production of corn. And there's other states in the U.S. that sends out stuff, but Los Angeles has the biggest, the, the greater amount of it all. And he lost that in Los Angeles. He lost it. And Kendrick was like, "No, I can't let you disrespect Los Angeles like that. The one you trying to take an authentic sound and you trying to make it something that it's not." Tupac ain't nobody's using his stuff because like there's a reason why we don't bother the Tupac Foundation. We don't bother Tupac's foundation. We don't bother the family with constantly coming out with another Tupac song. No, we're gonna let Tupac rest. Snoop Dogg is doing stuff for children now. He's doing stuff for his grandkids. He's doing stuff for his kids. Like hell, right now Snoop Dogg is at the Olympics having a good old time with Flavor Flav. What y'all think about that? East Coast, West Coast. He's with Flavor Flav at the damn Olympics right now, having a good time, right? But Kendrick said, whatever I do, hip hop wise, it got to be authentic. It got to be real. It has to be me. And if it's not me, then back to the drawing board. And when DJ Mustard,
Yep.
and DJ Mustard is on all the time talking about how he did not expect this song. He didn't know this song was coming. And when he said he got a message saying, "You got one," he didn't know who it was from. He didn't know what it was about. And he was just completely struck. And then he heard the song and he heard the tag. He heard everything in the song. He was like, damn, even the tag was in the song. He's like, that was something that couldn't be denied. That was something that nobody could really like. Nobody could really fake that point in that music. You know what I'm saying? He said, "You got you one, Mustard." He's like, "What do you mean, got one?" And he was simply talking about the fact that, dog, I used the beat that you sent because you're one of those guys who's always sending the beat. And Mustard has been on plenty of radio shows talking about some. He's always sending beats to multiple people, to a plethora of artists, and he's just sending them out one after another, after another, after another. And he's like, it is a routine because you never know when your stuff is going to get used. You never know when somebody's listening to your music or somebody's going to utilize your beat. You never know.
Yep.
Dang, I was so close to getting that last cop car. Y'all saw that. But Kendrick said, hold on, DJ Mustard is from Cali. He's from California. He heard the beat. And he said, not like us. They're not like us. And a lot of people think that not like us is talking about Drake, Toronto versus California. No, it's deeper. He's saying culturally, they're not like us. We know what it's like to be authentic and be our authentic selves. Speak what we want to speak about what is important to us. Say what we need to say. Do what we need to do. That's what makes sense to them to 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 Californians. Think about it. And it goes back to one of the lines. You want to sneak this, but if I catch flight, it's gonna be direct. That is a California saying. My wife says that stuff. We don't. My wife says we don't do no sneak this. If we gonna catch flight, it's gonna be direct. And my wife said that to me back in hell. She said that back to me like 6 years ago before we got married. My wife said we don't do sneak. We don't do no. People can talk crap all they want, but if they talk behind my back, then they couldn't say it to my damn face. That's how my wife would put it. She says if I catch flight, it's going to be direct. Like I'm going to come at you.
Yep.
I'm going to come for you. I'm going to say what I need to say and get it out the way. My wife says I'm not going to hold back. And that's the authenticity of my wife. My wife is a true California, is a California girl. Like, and not just any California girl. She is a Compton girl. My wife is from Compton, California. She's from Compton. That catch flight, be direct. That sticks with my wife till this day. That's my wife's favorite freaking line in that whole song. If I catch flight, it's gonna be direct. Cause that means, oh, if you want me to come at you, I can come at you. I don't have to play with it. I don't have to sugarcoat it. That's what that means in California talk. And my wife is from California. So like when my wife says Californians have a way of saying things, she's not playing. She's not lying. And wholeheartedly, I know that that is real and it's authentic and that's her. That's her world. You see what I'm saying? Now, not like us, the title. A lot of people bypass the title and they go to the double entendres and the lyricism. They look at all of the backstory. They look at all of the lore and the things in the visual of the song. But do they actually understand everything that happens in that video? First and foremost, there was a double entendre in the music video in the beginning, and there was a lady. I don't want to disrespect her in any way. I don't know her name, but I've seen her multiple times on multiple platforms. Um, and she talks about, did anybody catch the fact that those titles or the intro of the music video, that I am reincarnated, I'm a stargazer, well, life goes on, I need all my babies, woke up looking for that part right there. She started doing that. She said, did anybody notice that in the beginning? Because she thinks that it's a methodical attack on Drake sampling lyrics from those songs. Reincarnated, Stargazer, Life Goes On, All My Babies, Woke Up, Broccoli. Like those are actual titles of different songs. And she said if anybody dabbled deep into that and found the lyrics of those songs that popped up and see if they can compare and contrast if they were used by Drake. And crazily enough, I looked back and I was like, yeah, there are some similarities. There are in a few of those songs there were some lines that were used. I saw it. I can confirm that there were some lines that were used. I can confirm it wholeheartedly. I can confirm it. And oh my goodness, the Tommy the Clown and the T Squad, for those of you who know, legendary Crump Battle Crew, legendary competition group, go around school to school, park to park, place to place, dance off, crump dancing, and it unites all kids in that area. You know what I'm saying? But if you look at the colors on the shirts were red, white, and blue. That could be and stands for the American flag. That's what one person said. But also red and blue for the people who know gang culture, Crips, Bloods, and before Homegirl passed Kendrick the Bible, if you look at her belt, it's not a belt. It's the bandanas tied together. When was the last time we seen the bandanas tied together? If you know history, if you know the history, if you know the history, you know that that's not the first time those bandanas had been tied together. And I grew up in that era. I saw when the bandanas got tied together. That was that wasn't just a truce. That was them showing solidarity that hey, this is California. You ain't gonna disrespect us. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Rodney King when that happened. But I could be it could be something else. No, I was young when Rodney King happened too. So the boogeyman part where the guy with the ski mask, I'm sorry, but that is a shot at Drake from one of the videos that he shot. It's a shot at one of the images that he took with the ski mask with the little cutout for just the eyes to be revealed and his nose and his face like he was gonna mug somebody. Drake, I'm gonna tell you right now, you wouldn't know the first thing about mugging anybody. No offense. No offense to you. That's not your life. I saw a video not too long ago. Drake was promoting something and he had his braids out and he had like this flowing hair or whatever and it was blown his hair was blown out pretty much. And he was talking as if he was a drug person. And I'm like, Drake, that's not you. That's not authentically you. We know the authentic Drake. The authentic Drake is having fun with people, like to see people smiling, like to see people dancing, like to see people laughing. Entertaining Drake. And no, it was brought up the many accents of Drake. When he goes to Atlanta, he changes his accent a lot. If he goes to New York, he'll try to change his accent to sound more New York. If he tried to go to St. Louis, he'll try to get that St. Louis sound about him. If he goes to Louisiana, he's going to probably try to find a Louisiana sound so he can relate to people. So because he doesn't want to be out of the loop, he wants to connect. But the problem is, the real way to connect with people is just be your authentic self. And culturally, that's something that he's missing. Authenticity. No offense, but that's what he's missing. When a person is authentic, they don't need to hide who they are. They don't need to hide what they do. They don't have to sugarcoat. They don't have to transform into these multiple different people. No, no, no. That's why Kendrick said to Drake, I like Drake with the melodies. I don't like Drake when he act tough. That's true. Because when you act, it's easy to call you out on some BS. I like Drake with melodies. I don't like Drake when he I don't like Drake when he I like Drake with melodies. And no, and a lot of people are like, well, Drake can do whatever. Yeah, Drake can do whatever. You're right. Drake can do whatever. But honestly, it's taken away from his image. He tries to copy and do so much that people are starting to catch in that. And let me put it this way, so a lot of people don't get mad. I'm just gonna say it for what it is. When you're not real with who you are, it mistakes what is your purpose for doing this. It mistakes, and there's so many lines and so many things that kind of like branch and borders from, okay, what is authentic, what is not authentic, who is the real person, who's the fake person. You know what I mean? And the thing about hip hop culture is they will find the authenticity. They will find that stuff. So I got, oh dang. All right, so let me go get that so you can take next, and then I will get the next one. I know this is kind of boring because, like, I normally have music motivate me and push me through this thing.
Yeah.
And YouTube I'm sorry, YouTube executive people, y'all have really messed up the fun and the creativity of this thing. And I've been streaming, and I found here's how old I am, ladies and gentlemen. I'm 36, but I found out that me and my brother, ND Hedden, if y'all want to go to his channel and check out his stuff that he got on his channel, please don't hesitate to go check out ND Hedden or Madhouse Productions. Me and my brother have been streaming since 1993. How do I know? I found a videotape. And here's what we used to do. Y'all remember the yellow, white, and red cords that you plugged your game systems in to the TV? We used to plug them into our VCR. And we used to record our gameplay on the VCR. So I have videotapes of us streaming. And I know a lot of people gonna get pissed at me when I say this, but if you remember the original NBA 2K series, you know what I'm talking about. The one where it was Allen Iverson, or the one where it was Rasheed Wallace, the older renditions of the game. The older renditions of it. When I say older renditions of the game, I'm talking about Sega Dreamcast, PlayStation 2. The ones where it didn't cost you money to build your character. It was just your character got built up from playing the damn game. No offense, but 2K, I'm sorry, y'all, you lost your way a little bit with me. And I've gotten to the point where I'm not spending $500 to build my character, and I'd rather play NBA Live. And I know a lot of people like NBA Live. What's NBA Live? Because I had my students ask me that same stupid question. What is NBA Live? There was a game that came out, NBA Live 18, NBA Live 19. I would pick those games over 2K because it has the same mechanics. It has the same mechanics, one. Number two, how can I put this? Number two, you had more, you had the freedom of the customization. You had the freedom to actually make like your team, where they come from. You could customize the uniform. You could customize their their shoes. You could customize their arena. You could customize the budget for them when you did a franchise. Like it was the creativity of making a team. You could take college people who were in the draft or the NBA draft at that time, put them on your team if you knew them. If you knew, you knew. And you could make the names of the teams. You could make the colorizations of the teams. Like you could freelance and control and make the basketball courts. That was the original NBA 2K. I would say NBA 2K, I would say 12, 13, 14, it kind of lost its way. Because then it started becoming about money and buy into this, buy into this, buy these VC coins to upgrade your character. And the original game, the character just leveled up. NBA Live was created by EA Sports. EA Sports, as y'all know, did a whole lot of other cool video games. Matter of fact, I'll just break down the titles for you. And I know it kind of went off topic with the Drake and Kendrick Lamar. Nope, my ADHD medicine. I'm off of it right now. But, well, it all goes to authenticity. NBA 2K now is not the authentic NBA 2K that I remember. And with some of the older heads who used to love and play NBA 2K, we're like, it's not like it used to be. And yeah, they're making a lot of money off of what they're doing, but I guarantee you that's a lot of teenagers. And that's a lot of people streaming it and a lot of people trying to like be the best but paying into it. I guarantee you, when I played NBA Live 19, the authenticity of every time my character hit the street court, he hit a three or he did a certain amount of dunks and he leveled up just by doing certain things. If he stole the ball 7 times in a game, it made his defensive impact go up. If he blocked, his defensive impact went up. If he shut down a defender, his defensive went up. And I didn't have to buy it. I didn't have to pay for it. It naturally happened for the character. I was like, I like this. I like the natural aspect because in life you only get better the more you do it. You don't pay somebody to say, "Hey, um, I want to be the best basketball player, and I want to pay you like 300,000, make me a better basketball player." And they be like, "All right, put it in that machine right there, and you'll have it. You'll have it as soon as you pay." That is not how life works, people. That's not authentic. That's not authentic. That's fake. That's not real to me. That's not real to any. That's not real to any person who knows how to be real with themselves. You only get better with practice. You only get better with training. You only get better by doing it. And a lot of the Kendrick Lamar fans are attacking the Drake fans because the argument is culture versus color. But I say that it's different than that. It's authenticity versus using somebody else's stuff. Authenticity is when you can write your own stuff. If Drake wanted to respond, and by all means, I know UMG has told him, look, this beef got to end. Don't say nothing else. Don't do nothing else, because right now your image is getting hit with this song. This song is out. It's shining a negative light, and if it shines any more negative of a light that we start losing money, we're gonna have to start renegotiating stuff. That's business. If Drake was to do what Kendrick did, Kendrick, yeah, worked with TDE, and he left TDE on good terms, has his own stuff going now, but also he says it very quaintly and very polished. He's very polished when he said this. He's like, I got a family to raise, so you're not gonna see me doing hip hop all the time. I got a wife that I love. You're not gonna see me doing hip hop all the time. I got a son to take to school. You're not gonna see me doing hip hop all the time. Teaching him how to pray. You're not gonna see me doing hip hop all the time. Like, he's basically telling Drake, there's reasons why I don't do this. I want control of what I do so I can maintain and take care of my family. Forget all of the companies and all the stuff that they got out there. My company is me. My company is what I do, what I perform, what I bring to the table. That's me. That's the company. So if I need to take time off to take care of this, that, and the third, I'm the boss. I can do that. When you work for a company, you got to do it when they tell you to do it. You're on the clock. You contract to that person, to that conglomerate, to those people, to this company that owns by this company, that's owned by this company, that say they're owned by that company. And that's what Kendrick is saying to him. He's saying culturally, you're not there because you don't understand it. You're not quite getting it. My teenagers get pissed at me all the time because I do this. I give flowers when they're due. I give props where it's due, but also I will put my foot in the behind of anybody who step out of line, and I will very publicly say, this battle is over. Kendrick has, sorry Drake fans, but Kendrick won this one. Y'all can deny it, y'all can talk ish all y'all want, but Kendrick won this battle hands down, and it was off of authenticity. It was off of being real. It was off of Kendrick doing what Kendrick does best, and that's him being a lyricist.
Yep. Uh, ah.
I gotta break those other two.
Mm-hmm.
Almost. All right, so let's see if I can do that. All these.
Yep. Woo!
I got it. Oh,
Woo!
I know what stat I need to work on. I know what stat I need to work on.
Ah.
Oh, I should have wall kicked. He was high enough to kick off the dang wall. All right. Did I get? Yep, that's everything. So this Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 area is finished. I'm done with that one. In the grass. Face time. that's the thing. Culturally, and that's all this rap battle was about in Kendrick's book. It was a cultural stance. Authenticity versus not being who you are. The song All Right, that's Kendrick being authentic. King Kunta, that's Kendrick being authentic. Not like us, that's Kendrick being his authentic self. And there's a lot of songs where Kendrick is just himself. DNA, he's that is Kendrick. Like I got royalty, I loyalty inside my DNA. No, when you have royalty, that's history. African Americans, right? And I hate to say it like that because we're not from Africa. A lot of us are born here in America, but the world has labeled us as freaking African Americans. So might as well embrace it, as X Clan used to say. Coming from African man, am I American or African or brother? You can't forget the land because the birth is from the mother. That's a bar for you. That's a bar for you right there. When Kendrick Lamar said what he said, I got royalty and loyalty inside my DNA. Loyalty, because no, our history, African Africans who were brought over in slave ships before they were slaves, they were of a royal, they were of royal families, they were of royal tribes, kings, queens, princes, princesses, so on and so forth. Like we had, we had diamonds, we had golds, we had emeralds, we had rubies, we had sapphire, we had opals. We had all of this. We had things that equated to billions of dollars as kings and queens back in our existence before slavery. So we got royalty and loyalty. When we stood by something, we stood by it. When we stood by a person, we stood by that person through thick, through thin, through good, through bad, for better or worse. We stuck with it. That's loyalty. That's Kendrick giving you a history lesson. A lot of people pass that. A lot of people just looked at the bars. I'm like, look in depth, look in between the lines, look at why he said what he said and how he said it. J. Cole told him, your first one was a classic, your last one was tragic. And Kendrick's response was, my first one was like the last one. It was a classic. Because Kendrick says everything I do in my book, it's a classic because it's authentic. It has authenticity. That's what people forget. Hip hop is about the message. And a lot of people don't get the message until it goes over their heads. No offense, but sorry, young people. The message has gone over some of y'all's heads. And y'all don't see the authenticity of hip hop because you don't really understand hip hop. Now, yes, I teach hip hop at my high school as a club. I teach it. I have my kids write poetry. And yes, I have poetry slam days where I make my kids perform their poetry. If they don't want to, they don't have to. If they want me to read it, I'll read it. But then I always ask the question at the end, what did you hear from this? What did you get from this? What did you understand from this? See what I'm saying? And that's the part that literally it goes over kids' heads. It goes over people's heads. Shout out to my kid at the high school. She's a poet. I asked her recently, I'm like, how you been doing with your poetry? She's like, I haven't been doing it. She said, I don't feel like people really care about it like you did. I'm like, did you care about it? That's why you do it. It was your coping mechanism. It was the thing that made you who you are. It was the thing that helped you get through what you could get through. You see what I'm saying? And she never saw it like that. So my whole thing is I'm about to kill this guy.
Uh,
Got it. Yeah. This guy. This guy. Yeah. Shoot, I too far. There you go. Got it. Yeah. This guy. That guy. That's both of them. Shoot. This settling. Yeah, so it's, I'm following here. This settling. This girl. This girl. Over here. I know what the last girl is. My controller is.
ah.
I think I cleared this place. I think I cleared it. High school, low school, sixth school, high combo. Uh-huh. Skate. Mm-hmm. Pilot wings. Barrel hunt. Secret tape. I think that's everything. Yeah. Oh, I did nose grind and I didn't get the 3 gaps. Damn it! I thought I did it all in one go. I was close. I was very close. No, I ain't ready to go yet. I got a lot of work to do. Nose grind. Not hard to do. Definitely. All right, so now I gotta jump over the freaking gaps. It's like this. Helicopter is another gap. I gotta jump. And then finally,
Ah.
this one. I gotta jump.
Yep.
There it is. Ooh. I could have done something like that. I don't know what I need to do. Do people know? I know how to get up there. I knew how to get up. Just to take this stuff.
Ah, yeah.
Damn it. So, now this place is finished. Okay, so he does not really have good switch speed. Out there. That one. Let's bring it out. Oh, that's something different. Fly by wire cap. Philadelphia. Yeah, that's a den. Combo landed. 20,000. I'm at the hangar right now. Or is this hangar 2? Yeah, this is the hangar. So I need to do a 20,000 cap. Without doing any.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Ugh.
Mm. Oh. They don't want me to use my special.
Ah.
They don't want me to do a revert or a grab or a special. Alright, I gotta look at that challenge again. High wire act. Land 30,000 point combo. Oh, that's what I keep looking at that one. Over the hump. Okay. Land a 20,000 point combo using the half pipe grind gap. So it has to be a grind move. Got it. I'm over here overthinking it. I know what. Speed. Bring it down. See, he ain't got enough speed. That one's gonna be tough. If they want it. Hold up. I got an idea. I know exactly what I'm doing.
E.
Yeah, E. That sounds about right. I'm gonna try that again. at the same time.
Woohoo!
Got it. Woo. Y'all. See, this is the fun part of Tony. It makes you challenge yourself to do this game like 10 times better than you could ever do it. So now all I gotta really focus on is the stat points and those last two challenges that are at like the end of the game. So Philadelphia is like more toward the end, next to the bull.
Yep.
See if I can do something with that.
Yeah.
If I can do something with that.
Oh.
Ah, shoot. So close. Mm. Oh yeah. Okay. Y'all gotta give me a second. My cat and my dog are asleep on my feet. Listen. My dog. This is my cat. She's quiet. She's quiet. My dog, however, is not quiet. Time is 1:01. I've been streaming for about an hour and 37 minutes and about 22 seconds. But yeah, but that's the thing. That's what I wanted to do today. I just wanted to get on here, hang out for a little bit, let everybody know like what's the differences in hip hop and why does it matter and what is the importance of it. And my students wanted me to talk about it, so I talked about it here on my YouTube channel. That there's a difference. The hip hop culture versus people who pick and choose certain things from the culture and try to make themselves seem a certain way. Drake has never been a thug. I don't think Drake wants to really live a thug's existence. He has to be careful with who he brings around him, the people who are working for him. He got to make sure that they're in the right mindset. Kendrick is like he calls himself Mr. Morale for a reason. Like for those of y'all who ever watched Animaniacs, at the end of the episode, wheels of morality, turn, 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 tell us the lesson that we should learn. And every time he gets on, there's a lesson to be taught. So, Mr. Morale, he's coming with another characterization to teach Mr. Morale. So, me being who I am, I'm a gamer. I play games all the time. I'm an educator. I teach kids, teenagers all the time. I'm a husband. I'm an athlete. I paint houses. I can do yard work. I do whatever. Because my life has taught me how to do all of those things. The schooling, the education I got from St. Augustine's University gave me the drive and the passion that I have in order to do what I need to do best. My father and my mom instilled in me lessons that I needed in order to be a young man. Now, no, have I lived a thug's existence? No. Have I had a privileged existence? Hell no. My existence is just like anybody else's. It has ups and downs. It has good days, it has bad days, and then it has some absolute days that you wish you could just go find a grave digger and dig yourself a hole and bury yourself for a couple of days and then just come out of it all when everything is said and done and forgotten about. But that's the thing. My experience is not the thug experience. It's not the gangster experience. It's my experience. So I speak about it. When I do my poetry slams with my students, I talk about the times that impact me the most. My father passing away, me graduating college, me getting married, me witnessing the birth of my nieces and nephews and being able to take care of them and help them all the time. Me being able to take care of my mother and father before they passed away. Me helping my grandmother, me helping my friends, me hanging with my friends. Like these are authentic things to me. Me playing video games, me doing Dungeons and Dragons, me playing Guitar Hero all the freaking time on outdated systems and showing kids like this is what video games used to look like. This is how fun video games were back in the day. Playing Sega Genesis, playing Super Nintendo. That's me. That's authentic. That's me. That's who I am. Me listening to hip hop, me listening to gospel music, me listening to symphony, me listening to country music, me listening to rock music, punk rock, metal rock, death rock. I listen to all types of music. I know that's kind of baffling. Hell, I listen to Bali. I listen to indie. I listen to a whole lot of different styles of music. Because me myself, I'm a musician. I play the drums. I play the bass guitar. I play the lead guitar. Sometimes I just play uh, simplistic notes on a keyboard, not just A minor. I can play B minor. I can play E flat. I can play different notes and stuff. I can play different songs. Culturally, I'm gifted because I learn from each culture. I'm not nitpicking. I'm not picking what would best suit me. No, I like learning from the environment. I love learning from everybody. I like hearing other people's stories, but that's their stories. I can't steal their stories. That's their life. I can't steal their life. Culturally, what's accepting is if I talk about me and if I do what's best for me. If Drake wanted to, Drake could do like, and I know a lot of people gave him crap for it, but now look, can't give him crap for it now. J. Cole. J. Cole, absolute great idea, great initiative. You didn't know what you said would piss off K Dot. You thought what you said was gonna like get him to like jump on the track with y'all. I get it. But when you issued your apology, real men apologize for real stuff. He's like, I didn't mean what I said. I didn't mean to upset you. I didn't mean to make you feel like you needed to be in a rap battle against us, so we can find out of the three kings, out of us three, who's the best. I didn't want that to happen at all. I was just told like who are the top three, and I said, "Is it?" And he said, "I mentioned you because I thought you were one of the top guys. Like you, out of the three of us, out of the kings in this industry, he mentioned you first because in the West Coast, you can't go nowhere out here in Kendrick Lamar. You can't go to Arizona and not hear Kendrick Lamar. You can't go to Utah and not hear Kendrick Lamar. You can't go to Las Vegas and not hear Kendrick Lamar. You can't go to California, anywhere in California. And there's many big cities and many big places that there are in the state of California. You can't go anywhere and not hear Kendrick Lamar. See what I'm saying? So it's a K. Dot Aubrey or J. Cole, and he issued an apology. If Drake really wanted to, if he really wanted to end this beef, if he really wanted to end all of this stuff, all he has to do is just simply say, Kendrick, my bad. I wanted a friendly competition. I went too far. you answered. And my company, and just be honest, my company wants me to end this beef. So me coming to you now, I'm issuing an apology and saying, let's squash this so we can both continue within our careers. I'm sorry. That would have made so much sense in my book. That would make sense in my book. Somebody has to be a bigger man. Kendrick, he's already been the bigger man. Lyrically, he's been the bigger man. He's been teaching you about yourself. He's been teaching you about the people that are boasting you, that are pushing you and making you do this. Chubbs, Baca, Party, and all these guys you got in your corner at OVO. And he's like, look, pay attention to what I'm saying, because if UMG catches on that these guys have these bad cases and you constantly got these guys around you, if any of those bad cases come up, these companies will get rid of you because they don't want the bad publicity that comes with those guys. He's trying to teach them a lesson. Found Party at the party playing with his nose now. They say Chubbs is the one that gets your hand-me-downs. And Baca got a real case. Why is he around? Certified Louisville boys, certified pedophiles. He's not calling Drake the pedophile. He's saying there's members on his team who have allegations, who have issues in the legal world. And he got those people around him. He's like, Drake, I'm trying to protect you as well as inform you, dog, that if you really are the best at this, drop the bad fruit off of the tree. Cut it off. Make a sacrifice. Be good about it. Get these guys away from you. That way we can't say you got pedophiles around you. Because right now, you got some people with allegations on them. And if those allegations come out to be true, you are in trouble, because then the company's going to look at you like, you knew these guys had allegations. Why didn't you drop them? You can look at Schoolboy Q. You can look at TDE. You can look at everybody in the TDE group. Not one of them people have an allegation that's that big. And I'm sorry, the PDF file thing right now is a very big issue. There's a whole movement to shut people down that's been doing that. There's a whole, and I'm not saying it's a movement like a march. No, 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 no. I'm talking about legally. There are so many lawyers. There are so many people who are coming forth and admitting to being victims of it. That if anybody close to you or remotely close to you bring out the fact that they were involved with that person intimately and it could jeopardize your music career, he's telling you to drop them. See what I'm saying? He's trying to help you out. He's trying to help you out. No, Kendrick Lamar's essence is to inform people. It's to teach people. You made this battle rap personal when you talked about his wife. So then he said, okay, I'm going to go through what my mentor told me to do. Hit him where it hurts. Talked about you. He talked about the people in your group. He talked about your company. Knockout blow. Image wise, he used you in a lot of the images. He used he used corporate music moguls in his visual. And then he used this is my environment in his music and in his videos. Drake, if you want to answer, do it like a man. Don't be hiding behind the ghostwriters. Get to a pencil, get to a sheet of paper, write down some authentic words for yourself and produce it. If you want your ghostwriters to do your proofread, just let the ghostwriters proofread it. And if they have suggestions, let the ghostwriters tell you, okay, I would suggest you put this in your line or put this in your verbiage. And rehearse it so it sounds like you, so it don't sound like your ghostwriters. I'm sorry. Everybody know how daylight sound, and I'm sorry, dog. I've heard a couple of your songs. I hear daylight. I've seen daylight battle rap, so I can hear him as your ghostwriter. And that's just one. I haven't brought up the other 19. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad y'all stuck with me throughout this ramble and rant or this informative, whatever you want to call it. That's what I've been doing today. But I just wanted to come on here, play a little bit of Tony Hawk. I got to do some cleaning of the house before my wife gets ready to come home. I got to eat me something too. So I'm going to end this stream here. If you would like to, please join me on my Twitch channel. Same thing, Q underscore Beast 52 or uh Q underscore Train 52. If you see the name and you see my picture, it's me. My wife, me and my it's a picture. It should be my face. You see up there as a cartoon. It's my face. If it's not just my face up there, if you see me and a woman and we're both in cartoon, that's me and my baby. And that's just because of like my whatchamacallit photo has moved from one thing to the next. So you'll see my photo and her photo sometimes. But please go to my Twitch channel, Q underscore Beast 52, Q underscore Train 52 here on YouTube. Follow me on social medias. Follow me on You can follow me on Instagram, Q underscore Train 52. Follow me on Facebook. You can follow me on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. You can follow me on all of those, man. You can follow me on all platforms, all social medias. You can even find me on TikTok right now. And for those of you who don't know, yes, I do TikTok. I talk about certain things. I cook. I wrestle. I have motivational stuff. Um, and I do have some political stuff. I'm not a very big political kid. I don't really do big on politics because politics make me sick sometimes. But I do a lot of things. If y'all want to know the authentic me, go to my other networks. Go to my Twitch. Go to my Instagram. Go to my TikTok. Go to my Facebook. Go to my Instagram. Go to my Twitter. I don't post on Twitter no more. But if you want to go to my Twitter, go to my Twitter. Everything I do is authentically me. And that's my message to you today. Whatever you do, make sure it is authentic to you. If you're a gamer, pick up that controller and show me your game skills. Pick up that keyboard and mouse. Show me how you multitask. If you're a Call of Duty person, show me your teamwork ethic when you go in battle zone. Or show me your skills as a one-on-one-v1 PvP player. If you're a musician, I want to see your authenticity with your music. I want to see you either recreate or cover somebody else's music, but I want to see you do it with a smile on your face. Everything we do in this world has to be authentic to us because that's when it's real. And no AI can copy that. No AI can do that. It's just who we are. AI may be able to manipulate an image or may be able to manipulate vocal patterns and stuff like that, but only you can be you. A computer can't be you. All the 80s babies know that the children of man inherit the land and the future of the world is in our hands. And if you don't know who said that, you don't know Grandmaster Melly Mel of the Furious Five and Grandmaster Flash. This is your man Q52 telling you be yourself, be authentic, be charismatic, be creative, be great. School is in session for a lot of kids right now. So I'm wishing good luck to all the kids going to school at this moment and at this time. And I hope all the success, grade level to grade level, whether you're a first grader or you're a senior in high school, or whether you're a freshman in college or you about to cross that stage, graduating year, senior in college. Everything you do should be authentic. Everything you should do should be for you, not for anybody else. Live your life the best way you can live it. This is your boy Q52, telling you always and forever, keep your head in the game and take the world by storm. Q52, signing off. Peace, y'all.